Hey, Corporal Sean Francis here, and what I'm going to do here is I've got some questions that are coming in, some interesting sort of, how does this work, or what is that sort of questions coming from some of our clients. So this one here comes from Lindsay, and it is, how do you choose healthier options at the grocery store other than buying organic? So that's a great question, Lindsay, and I put down just sort of 5 things that I do that help me in my selections when I go to the grocery store to make sure that I'm buying good food that are going to fuel me in the activities that I do. So the number one is going to be planning. You always want to have a plan before you go to the grocery store. So take a look at what your nutrition is going to look like over the next 3 to 5, maybe 7 days at most, and plan that out. So do you plan to have a lot of vegetables and fruits and meats, and what do you need to buy basically that based on what your requirements are, your family's requirements for nutrition, and write all of that down. So have a plan so when you go in there, you're not stuck buying other things. And likely when you do that, you're not going to be writing down things like cookies and cakes and stuff like that, or chippies, where you're going to put down the foods that you're going to get. That's all afterthought, and that's just a big sort of marketing deal that grocery stores use. So number one is going to be to plan out what you're going to buy. Number 2 is using the perimeter of the grocery store when you do go purchase your food. So the perimeter is where all the healthy, live, and good food is. As soon as you come into the store, and I'm going to use Kawartha Lakes, Lindsay here, I think it's Loblaws. When you come in, you've got fruit and vegetable. Most likely always, and it may be the same at your store there. So fruit and vegetables are there, so that's the first thing I'm going to go after. I'm going to go after fruit and vegetables. Now, personally, I look towards organic, and I'll talk about that in one of our next points here. But you can purchase non-organic. Look for locally grown stuff that wasn't put onto a truck down in Argentina somewhere and then put on a ship or a plane and flown over here, and it's been ripening over the time, and there's a lot of other processes in there I'll talk about as well that prolong the life of that food until it gets to your grocery store and you buy. So always choose local if you can, if that's an option for you. So fruit and veggies, you want to get as many colors as you can as your fruit and veggies, because the different colors and the brighter colors contain a substance known as phytochemical, and that's been shown to help prevent things like heart disease and cancers. So get a good variety of all your fruits and veggies and stack up and load up your cart first. And at least 50% of my cart every time I go in is going to be the fruits and veggies, because I know each day I'm looking for anywhere from 5 to 9 servings of either. Every meal I'm going to have a good chunk of vegetables. I'm going to have couple different types of vegetables, and then I'm snacking on fruits throughout the days in between meals to make sure that my energy level stays up. So fruit and vegetables, number one. And in my store, the next thing that we have as we go along is we've got our fish. Fish is great, and it's different types of fish. Again, organic if you can, or locally caught fish. But with fish, you want to look at omega-3s, which is really great for skin, hair, brain, neural conductivity. And you're looking at SMASH, and S-M-A-S-H as far as your fish. So these are the best fish that you can get for omega-3 and for your health. It's sardines, mackerel, anchovies, herring, salmon, S-M-A-S-H. I spelled that wrong today. Sardines, mackerel, anchovies, salmon, and herring, SMASH. Okay, so there you go. So get those fish into you, and you're looking about 2 servings of fish per week for yourself. And then if you've got family, obviously it's in your plan to buy a little bit more. As you make your way along the back, now you're looking at the whole grain section, and whole is the key here. So we're not looking at things that have been enhanced or enriched, because we can draw from nature basically what we need to survive. We've been doing it for hundreds of thousands of years. All of a sudden there's this big push to make things enhanced and enriched and do better than Mother Nature does. So stick with the whole grains, and that's whole grains, whole oats, whole barleys, quinoa, whole rye, things like that. That's the entire whole grain that's going to give you a lot of the nutrients that you need. Okay, so that's my breads, if I am consuming breads from that area there. Now some people are low carbohydrate, and they assume that means low breads and low pastas and low cereals and low sugars, and that certainly is the case. You can get a good amount of your carbohydrates through your vegetables and through your fruits every single day, and get a good amount of fiber there as well. But if you are consuming bread, then that's what you want. Look for those whole grain labels. As we venture on through the back of the store now, I'm into the area of my meats. So this is where I'm getting my lean chicken, turkey, ground beef, anything like that I'm going to consume. Maybe it's a lean pork or something like that, and that's where a lot of my proteins are going to come through. So I'm loading up on my cart, and I'm getting a lot of that good stuff too. And again, if you can get organic, then it is there, then I'd certainly recommend that. We make our way along the back now. We're into the dairy section here, so you're talking your eggs, your creams, your butters, your milks, your cheese, anything else like that. Again, looking for the lowest amount of processing possible and the most natural forms and substances. And usually along the back quarter is when you're going to get your frozen vegetables and frozen foods. Now, frozen vegetables and fruit are fine. You know, I load up my fridge because I like to shop once or twice a week. I don't want to shop every 2 days. And I know if I'm buying local fruits and veggies, they should be breaking down and they should be expiring over a few days. So to stop me from having to go to the grocery store over and over and over, I'll buy some frozen stuff and I keep it in, and when I'm ready to use it, I take it out, thaw it, and consume it, whether it's in shakes or in meals. So the frozen stuff is there. So that's, you know, your big 2 tips. If you're going to take anything from this, the big 2 tips. Number, plan and use the perimeter of the grocery store. As soon as you pass through the perimeter of the grocery store in your back, now you've got all these aisles to deal with. And the aisles are the tricky part because that's where everything dead is. That's where all your cans, your boxes, and your bags, and everything inside those is just dead food. And you can't thrive and be alive if you're consuming dead food all the time. So what I recommend is that, because you've got to get stuff down there, like I know ketchup maybe. If I got to get ketchup for myself and my family, I know ketchup is in the aisles. Instead of taking my cart down there and making it so easy for me to reach out and grab other junk and throw it into my cart as I go, I'm going to leave my cart at the end of the aisle. I'm going to take a deep breath. And I'm honest when I say this, I take a deep breath and I bolt down that aisle there. I make sure that there's not anybody I'm going to run over or anything else like that. And it's quite clear. Deep breath, run in, get that ketchup, and get out of there. And it takes my focus off grabbing chippies and ding-dongs and yahoos and ho-hos and everything else like that they're trying to sell me. That's all the dead food that's going to not positively affect my health. So I go in and I get that stuff and I make my way along, and I get my olive oils that I need in there, and I maybe my spices and maybe my coffee, but all these things that I've already planned, it's already on my list. I'm not getting anything else, but I'm in and I'm out and I'm going through the aisles there. So I want to make sure that I'm getting good stuff, and we'll talk more about labels in another video. But just a short, if you're going in there and get anything in, there's a label on it. A couple things you want to look at. You want to go minimal ingredients, so 5 ingredients or less, right? Like an apple, the label of an apple says apple, and that's all. That's all there is to it, which is beautiful. Now you start looking at some of these boxes and bags and chips, you're going to notice a whole whack of ingredients, okay? And nature just doesn't work like that. So minimal ingredients. You want maybe 5 maximum if you can. The number 2 is you're looking for things that you know, you want to go make sure it's not artificial, and you know, nothing synthetic or anything else like that. So a lot of things you're going to see artificial flavor, artificial coloring, and artificial. What does that mean, artificial? That's a word that the food industry uses to tell you there's a lot of stuff, like a lot of chemicals and crap in here. So watch that word there. And then the last one is going to be pronunciation of words. If there's some sort of thing on there and it's like this long and you don't even know what that word is, chances are your body has evolved over hundreds of thousands of years, doesn't have an idea as to what it is too, and it's going to go in, it's going to cause disruption and inflammation. Your body's going to try to get rid of it. You may feel sick, so just don't consume it in the first place. So we got planning, we got perimeter, we know how to deal with aisles now. Last 2 things we got to cover is natural versus organic. Okay, so natural, you know, it's natural doesn't mean organic. Obviously organic, 100% organic and certified organic is where we want to go. It's the most purest form, and it means for vegetables and fruits that we don't have herbicides and pesticides and sprays, which if you're not washing your vegetables very clean, and this is one of the ways you can get around. I mean, if you're not looking for organic fruits and vegetables, you can take the time and buy the stuff that you need to wash thoroughly these fruits and vegetables and have less effect. But you also have to realize that though it's sprayed onto the food itself, and you can wash that off, the spray lands on the soil and is uptaken through the soil into the fruit and the vegetable itself. So it's not just on the outside, it's within that fruit and vegetable. And it's another foreign substance that your body has no concept or idea as to what it is, what this pesticide or spray is that's designed to kill insects that you're now consuming into your body. So fruit and vegetables, organic, obviously your number 1 option here. Same with your animals, your food. I mean, if you've watched some videos, and we certainly have some better regulations in Canada, but you know, growing animals in pens and in cages where they're not getting exercises, and they're being injected with hormones and antibiotics and stuff like that, you know, and it goes into the meat and it goes and it's stored in their fat, and then we consume these animals and we get sick and we start dying ourselves. So we want things that are free range, that are organic, that are healthy, that are not pumped full of synthetic drugs, hormones, and the like. I mean, we want to be as healthy and as clean as we possible, so we want to eat those animals because we're uptaking what they are consuming. So you got to think chicken that's in a cage, and this is a great experiment. Go buy a chicken, a regular off-the-shelf chicken, chicken legs and stuff like that, and then an organic one. And you know, open up that chicken and then just look at the joints, look at the knees. We all like to eat wings and stuff like that, or you know, the piece of back meat or whatnot, or the leg. Take a look at the joints and try to pull the joints apart. You're going to find that the chickens that are just off the shelf, that are cage raised, and that have been injected with a whole bunch of crap, the ligaments don't really, there's no real need for them. They're not strong, they're not built of proper nutrients as that chicken grew, and they come apart real easy. The organic chicken, on the other one, the free range that got exercised, very, very strong ligaments. Now ponder this question, think about this. What if that relates to us as athletes and human beings, and if you're continuously experiencing knee problem and cartilage breakdowns and sprains in your ligaments, and you have problems with the knees and the hips and the ankles? If you're not consuming food because the food is broken down and replaces basically the cells in our body, if we're eating junk, we're replacing those ligaments that are supposed to do a job with junk, and we become that off-the-shelf chicken who we can easily take the joints apart and move them, and they're not as supported as the healthy, organic, and natural free-range chicken. So organic versus natural versus just off-the-shelf. Obviously you want to go as organic and as fresh as possible, and if you've got you know, markets in your city and stuff like that, we do in Lindsay here, where you can go get fresh stuff from local farmers, I certainly recommend that. And it's an investment in your health that you're going to make, because you're going to reap the rewards, and you're going to be healthier, longer, and less sick, and you know, better to thrive in life. So certainly invest in your nutrition as well as in through your fitness. The final thing we'll cover today is going to be serving size, and we'll get more onto ingredients in another video. But serving size, you really got to pay attention, because say for instance on the back, maybe you're going to go buy cookies for whatever reason, and you know, on the front of the package, or Twix, or something that has multiple servings in it, and the front says 100 calories. Okay, that's based on the serving size, but when you look at the back, the serving size is, you know, one cookie or one strip of chocolate or one whatever. But most people will sit down and eat the entire thing, thinking, you know, not putting the connection together that, hey, this isn't 100 calories because there were 2 pieces of chocolate in there, 2 Twix or whatever. I've just consumed 200 calories, the most of which are junk and fat, sugar, and everything else. But besides the point, take a look at serving sizes. Take a look at one product that says, you know, it's got 50 calories, but then it lists, you know, per serving size of 50 grams, and then the next one says 100 calories, but it says serving size of 100 grams. And if you're not looking at serving size, all you see is 50 calories versus 100 calories, and we're programmed to say less calories is better. I'm going to go with the 50 calories. When realistically, it is the exact same calories, because it's 50 to 100 grams, so you double it and you got 100 versus 100. So 5 things when you're shopping. 1 of them, make a plan. 2 of them, stay to the perimeter and to the outside. 3, if you go into the aisles, hold your breath, get in, get the stuff you need, get out. And if you're getting stuff because we know the aisles is dead food, get minimal ingredients on the label and natural ingredients. Your organic versus your natural, certainly go organic if you can, and it's an investment in your health. And if you can't, then I recommend that you question where your finances go, and is there something that maybe you're investing in right now that is not as positive and beneficial to you as your nutrition, as your health, your fitness, and your sleep. And number 4, take a look at label sizes and serving sizes and make sure that everything matches up when you are selecting these items off the shelf. So those are the 5 things that we talked about. Great question from Lindsay about shopping. I'm Corporal Sean Francis with FitCore Boot Camp at Kawartha Lakes Fit Body Boot Camp. You can check us out at kawarthafitness.com, Kawartha fitness.com. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one.